Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 291. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another dynamic show in store for you. Today's show topic is pushing through the pain to get to prosperity. 3 keys to overcome failure as an entrepreneur. Pushing through the pain to get to prosperity. 3 keys to overcoming failure as an entrepreneur. Now, as an entrepreneur, guys, we know that we go through so many different trials and tribulations. And this show actually, I was inspired to do this show today. I actually had something else planned, but something told me, my inner self told me I needed to do this show today because I know there's some BEB family members out there right now that are struggling with their business and they're probably having second thoughts and doubts. And I just want to give you encouragement and also share with you a couple of things that you can do to overcome failure. And the first part of the show, I'm going to share some of my personal story with you guys. And these are some of the tactics and techniques that I've used to overcome almost losing it all twice. But before we get to today's episode, I do want to share a few things with the BEB family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to give you all of my social media contact information and my resource links, such as my book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses, and also links to my platforms and resources to help circulate the dollars in the Black community. So now let's get back to today's episode. Once again, pushing through the pain to get to prosperity. 3 keys to overcoming failure as an entrepreneur. Okay, guys, if you've heard about my backstory before, just please indulge me. But I want to share briefly my backstory with new listeners or first-time listeners or listeners who have never heard any of the episodes where I talked about where I almost lost everything twice. So the first time I almost lost everything, my son was born, and 6 months after he was born, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor, a cancerous brain tumor. And I had just left corporate America. I had been in and out corporate America a couple times after I started my first business. And I had just literally gone back out on my own to start a marketing company. And we find out that our baby boy has cancerous brain tumor. Now, at the time, my wife was a teacher and she had the steady income. And once again, as an entrepreneur, you know, when you start out, your income is going to fluctuate. It's going to take time for you to get up and running to have a consistent income. And so during that battle, my son battled 11 months before he transitioned. And during that battle, my wife had to stay home. So we didn't have that income. And while I was trying to, obviously work through the emotional stress and the stress of my son being sick and also trying to build a business, that Jones household, man, was crazy at the time. And my daughters were about 6 and 3 and my son was 1. And so I almost lost it all because my wife had to stop working. I had to cover the COBRA insurance to make sure my son could get the medical attention that he needed. And also, just the everyday bills and things like that were catching up on us. So in addition to going through financial stress, we were going through emotional stress, dealing with my son's sickness. And he passed away at 17 months old. And, obviously it's a tough time and there's still a hole in my heart right now. And he would have been 19 right now. but we had to move forward because we had two girls and we needed to keep the household a happy household. We always had a happy household. A lot of you guys probably won't recognize from the podcast, but I'm a jokester by nature, right? So I'm pretty jovial for the most part. Even though I'm a type A personality, my at rest or my natural state of being is being, I'm a jokester. All right. So we always had a crazy household, fun household. So we needed to keep that going. So after my son passed away, I had to get back on the grind, and we were able to come up, and my business grew, and we were able to be successful. Subsequent to that, several years after that, my business partner and I, we started a mortgage business that became a multi-million-dollar mortgage business and was very successful. And so, of course, you guys know what happened in 2007, 2008. We had a major financial crash. And so all of my money was tied up pretty much into my business. We were making money like crazy, but all of a sudden, when the bank started shutting down, loan applications, people couldn't get approved. That meant that I couldn't sell any loans. I couldn't sell any mortgages. And so what that happened then, obviously, was there's no money coming into the business. We had 45, 50 plus employees, myself and two partners, and we were rocking and rolling for many a year. And it was lovely. So when the mortgage crash happened, we're thinking, okay, it can't be that bad. We're going to take a hit for a minute, and we're going to dip down maybe for 6 months, a year, whatever. But we didn't realize how traumatic this financial collapse was. And so what happened was we started sinking our personal monies into the business to try to keep the business afloat, because we thought that the business would eventually come back. Little did we know that, we sunk hundreds of thousands of dollars back into the business. And then it finally got to the point where realization hit us. It's like, this isn't going to work anymore. So everything that I had put in, my partners and I, the time, the commitment, the hard work basically came to an end. And I found myself sitting on my couch one day, and I was actually laying on the couch, and I was looking up at the ceiling, and it was, I think it was a weekend. I think my wife and the kids were out somewhere, and I'm like, man, what am I going to do? Am I going to stop? Am I going to go back to corporate America? At that point, jobs were drying up. The employment wasn't great at the time. So I'm like, man, what am I going to do? So I figured that, let me figure out something that is innate to me. What am I good at? What are my talents, and what do I like to do? And then I started thinking about the things I did not like to do. So I said, when I make this comeback, I'm going to do something that I enjoy doing, something that I'm good at, and something that I could get paid for. So if you want to learn more about that, Joe, just check out episode 199, Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius. I'm not going to go into all of that right now, but I had to reassess myself and to see what I needed to come back as. How am I going to reinvent myself and put myself in a position where I'm happy, I'm financially secure, and I'm fulfilled in terms of what I'm doing for a living? How am I making a difference? How am I helping others? Who am I serving? And so that's my story, my backstory in terms of almost losing it all twice. The second time, I was so vested in that mortgage business, like I said, and something told me to basically have additional streams of income. But it's hard when you got your main income stream is paying you like that. It's hard to even think about starting something else because you're getting so much paper doing what you're already doing. So I learned a lesson from that. So I always knew about multiple streams of income. But at that point in time, I was making so much income. I was like, you know what? I don't want to take my eye off the ball because this paper is coming in like that. And in hindsight, I really should have. I should have had something else going on. Yeah, I bought a couple properties and flipped properties, but they were still under that real estate umbrella. So all types of real estate took a hit back then. So if you're too young to remember 2007, 2008, that's a good thing. All right. So all of us that were in the real estate, mortgage, or financial services industry, that was a major, major hit for us. And so that's how I almost lost it all twice. So you're talking to somebody that's not talking from theory. I'm talking from experience. And so that's what this podcast is about. So the stuff that I talk about is stuff that I have experience doing, or I bring people on and they share their experiences. But today we're talking about pushing through the pain to get to prosperity. 3 keys to overcoming failure as an entrepreneur. And so the first thing that I wanted to look at, or want you guys to look at, if you're dealing with anything right now, if you're in this situation as an entrepreneur and it's not working out, you're not making the money that you need to make, your spouse or your partner is on your back because they're asking you, yo, what are you doing? Why did you leave your job? You know, maybe you have a part-time side hustle that you're trying to transform into a full-time business. Okay, so there's so many things going on for an entrepreneur that it's unlike anything that I tell people all the time. Here's the deal. Most times when you work for a company, you know what you're supposed to do every day. You have a set of tasks or responsibilities that you have, and the system has already been set up for you. So all you're doing is you're just the cog that's being plugged into the system. When you're an entrepreneur, you have to create the system. You have to build the system. You have to monitor the system. You have to manage the system. So it's a totally different ball game. And so here's some of the things that you can do if you're trying to overcome failure as an entrepreneur. And I kind of use what we call the ABCs. So the 3 keys are, number 1, assess. Okay, you want to assess your personal talents and skills. And I just touched on that briefly. So when I was laying on that couch thinking about how I was going to make a comeback, I was thinking about what are my talents and skills? What am I good at? What do I enjoy doing? What's something people are going to pay me for? So you need to assess your personal talents and skills and make sure that they're aligned with your business. Okay, so if you have an outside sale, say you're selling home improvements and you're an introvert and you don't like to talk to people or sell anything, guess what? You're probably not going to make a lot of money unless you hire somebody or put somebody else in that position. But you need to assess your personal talents and skills. Once again, check out episode 199, Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius. Because what you have from within, and if you can use that to create a business and monetize it, and I always say, guys, that's the highest form of entrepreneurship, being able to monetize your genius. So you want to assess your personal talents and skills and make sure that they're aligned with your business. Okay. Also, you want to assess your current situation. So when I was laying on that couch, I'm like, all right, where am I now? What resources do I have? And what critical tasks do I need to do to accomplish to move forward or move to the next step? Okay. And a critical task is a task that must be completed before you can move to the next step. So I knew I was going to start another business. Okay. I wasn't quite sure what it was at the time. All right. I had to look at where I was. I was broke, busted, and disgusted. Okay. I had to look at my resources. I didn't have a lot of monetary resources at that time, but I knew I had something better than that. I had ingenuity. I had experience. I had skill. And I knew one of my talents is teaching. Okay. I'm passionate about entrepreneurship. I'm passionate about helping my people. And one of my greatest skills, or talents is teaching. Not a traditional teacher, but I'm able to gather information and then be able to put it in a place or as Joe Madison says, put it where the goats can get it. So I'm able to take information and make it easily accessible and actionable. So once again, so we're talking about key number 1 is assess. So assess your personal talents and skills. Then you need to assess your current situation. Where are you right now? What do you have the resources to start? I knew I was going to start another business. And once again, what was the next critical step I needed to take to move that dream forward? Oh, I need to start another company. Okay, I couldn't use the same mortgage business because, I was struggling like crazy and we had debts out the yin yang. All right, so that was a critical step. I need to create another entity. What am I going to name that entity? What am I going to do with that entity? And we're going to get to that a little later on. And under assess, the number C, or under assessment, is assess your short-term and long-term goals. What are they? All right. What plan do you have to attain those goals? What are my short-term goals? At that time, my short-term goal was just to make some paper on a consistent basis. I'm just trying to get my head from out of the water. Okay. What is my short-term goal? What are my long-term goals? Okay. And I had to think and write down what my long-term goals were. Now, while I was going through this, guys, I wasn't writing down a full business plan, a 300-page business plan or anything like that. I always have, if you could look at my office right now, I got boxes of notebooks. So I always write down my thoughts. You know, people call it journaling now, but when I have a business idea or I'm trying to plan, I'll usually write it down first, as opposed to just typing it on the computer. A lot of times when you write things, it sticks with you longer. Okay, so that's key number one is assess. You want to assess your personal talents and skills, assess your current situation, and assess your short-term and long-term goals. Okay, key number two to overcoming failure as an entrepreneur is believe. Now, under believe, I have three things under believe. Number one, you need to believe in yourself. Okay, I'm going to tell y'all, nothing else matters if you don't believe in yourself. It's a wrap. Game over. Finished. Done. All right. So you have to believe in yourself. Now, what that may entail is blocking out outside sources or inside sources, because it all starts mentally, internally. Okay. So you have to fill your mind with positive things. You have to have faith. You have to believe in yourself. Now, you're going to get chatter from outside places, and you always have to remember the source. So I was just having a conversation the other day with one of my friends, and we were talking about entrepreneurship. So as an entrepreneur, you know, there's certain things that come with that. Number one is uncertainty, okay? Because you're trying to build something. So why are you going to talk to somebody that has never taken a risk in their life, that goes to a job that they can't stand because they don't have the wherewithal or the desire to start their own business? Why are you going to talk to them for advice? Okay, because once again, you got to understand and recognize the source. What they're telling you is what they know, but it's not what you know. You know, for you, if you decide to be an entrepreneur, you've determined or decided inside that this is a better way for me to do what I need to do. So once again, believe in yourself, and nothing else matters if you don't believe in yourself. And also, one of the things that I started looking at was getting small wins. And when I say getting small wins, you know, a lot of times we look at the macro. Man, I got to get this business up and running, and I need to make X amount of dollars. But let's break it down into the micro. I even considered a win when I started my new company, when I incorporated. I was like, you know what? Yeah. All right, that's a win. That's a step. That's a step. Now let's go to the next step. So you want to believe in yourself and try to get small wins along the way to increase your confidence. Okay. Under believe, the second one is believe in your dreams. So I'm telling you right now, if you don't listen to anything I say today, don't let anyone stop you from dreaming. Do you hear what I'm telling you? I don't care who it is. If it's your spouse, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your grandparent, I don't care who it is. Believe in your dreams. Never, ever let anybody stop you from dreaming. Do you understand that the Fortune 100 companies out there right now, they all started with a thought. They all started with a dream. And I always use DuPont as an example. So DuPont is a conglomerate. International conglomerate. They started out selling gunpowder between the French and the English. That's how DuPont started. Somebody sat down and said, oh, yeah, there's a war going on. I'm going to sell gunpowder to this side and that side. And now look what DuPont has evolved into. Okay, so believe in your dreams. And the person that started DuPont had no idea what the hell this was going to turn into. Okay, so believe in your dreams and don't let anybody steal your dreams. If you don't have any dreams, family, you ain't living. Okay, if you don't have any dreams, you're not living. If you've accomplished everything you wanted to accomplish in life, you might as well just go and start digging your own hole. There's always more dreams to come. There's always places that you can go. There's always new things that you can learn. So believe in your dreams. Don't let anybody steal your dreams. And if you have kids, make sure you nurture those dreams. Okay? If you don't have those dreams, guys, you're dead. You're mentally dead because you don't have anything to shoot for. You have nothing to aspire to. All right. The third thing under believe is believe in your plan. Now, obviously, you got to have a plan to believe in. So while you're doing all this, and if you're struggling right now with your business, sometimes you got to go back to the drawing board. Okay, because plans are made to change. That's what business is. It's fluid. It doesn't stay the same. So the game plan that you had last year may not work this year. So you have to believe in your plan. But in order to believe in that plan, you need to make sure that you're looking at everything externally and internally. What's the best way for me to get from point A to point B? What's the best way for me to build my business? So believe in your plan. And today, guys, we're talking about pushing through the pain to get to prosperity. 3 keys to overcome failure as an entrepreneur. Key number 1 was assess. Key number 2 is believe. And under those, we had a couple different things. And the third key is commit. Commit. All right. So one of the things as entrepreneurs, and I think I'm privy to this, I think I have a tinge of ADD, right? So the first thing you guys need to do is commit to a singular focus. And so a lot of people use the acronym for focus is follow one course until success, and put all your energy into making your business successful. All right. So you may have all kinds of different ideas, right? Like I do. I own over 200 plus domain names. And the reason is if I wake up and something hits me, oh man, that's a good domain name. Maybe I'll do a business under that. I'll go buy the domain name. But I have to learn that I had to train myself to focus, because if I don't, I'll be all over the place. So commit to a singular focus. Focus all of your energies on building this business. Now, that doesn't mean that you neglect your children and your family. But in terms of your focus, the majority of your focus, once again, that may be, hey, I'm not going to watch TV tonight. You know what? Maybe I'm not going to go out and hang out with the boys and have drinks tonight. Maybe I'm going to focus on this business. And so one of the things is, with this Kobe Bryant tragedy, he and the other members of the passengers, rather, on the helicopter, I just started looking back at Kobe Bryant's muse and some of the different things. And you see on social media, everybody's putting stuff out there about Kobe. And he always talk about focus. I'm going to be better than you because I'm going to focus all my energies on being the greatest basketball player I can be. So while the other cats are out there at the club doing all that, this, that, and the other thing, he's over there working on his game. So commit to a singular focus. You can master something if you commit to it. But if you commit to 3 different things, you'll never master anything. What they say, a jack of all trades, a master of none. Also, commit to elevating your entrepreneur IQ. Always continue to learn and hone your craft. All right, things change. As an entrepreneur, we have to be aware of what's going on out here. We have new technologies coming up, all types of things. So you got to continue to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Okay, once again, it's all about commitment. Where's your commitment? Are you keeping up on the latest technology trends? Are you keeping up on what's happening in your industry? Are you keeping up on what's happening in other industries, which you may be able to take some of the things from there and implement in your industry? So you always have to be aware, so you got to continue to read. You got to watch things, take courses and all that type of stuff. Commit to elevating your entrepreneur IQ. And the last thing is commit to putting in the work. Do what's necessary to be successful. And I know it sounds very simple, but a lot of times we're not working hard enough. If you sit down and really calculate how many hours you're really putting in work, and I had to do this before, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn, I think I'm working hard. It looks like I'm working hard, but really, what have I accomplished? And I had to really check myself, commit to putting in the work. Now, my philosophy is you work smart and hard. Okay. You work smart and hard. I'm trying to maximize my results. And the only way I can do that is putting in that work. Okay. But I can also leverage technology and systems to help me accomplish that. But commit to putting in the work. Do what's necessary to be successful. And like I said, guys, I think I created one of the shortest poems in history. To be, do. Is 6 letters and 3 words. To be, do. So in order to be a successful entrepreneur, I have to do the work that it takes to get there. To be, do. Do is an action. You have to do something, all right? So commit to putting in the work. I used to tell, when I had my mortgage company, I used to tell the employees, I said, look, you ever seen the picture of like there's war in the Middle East or somewhere else, and you got these cats throwing rocks against a tank? The tank is coming over there pointing his gun at him, and you got cats out there throwing rocks at a tank. I said, that's commitment. That's somebody's like, I don't give a damn what's going on. You're going to know that I've been here. I'm committed to this fight. Even if I lose, I'm committed. That's commitment. And I used to joke and I said, yo, that's the type of commitment that we're going to have to you. And I need you to have that to the company. And so that's what we're talking about today, guys. Pushing through the pain to get to prosperity. 3 keys to overcoming failure as an entrepreneur. Now, we're about 3/4 of the way done in the show. I just want to share a couple of the social media links and my resources, and then we're going to get back and close on out the show and do a quick recap. All right, guys, I just want to give you a quick some resources and also my social media contact information. So my new book is out, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. So if you're looking to build a successful, sustainable e-commerce business, go to anewblackwallstreet.com. Pick yourself up a copy. The print copy is $14.95 plus shipping and handling, and the digital copy is $9.95. If you have ordered a print copy, I just got the new shipment of books in, so you should be getting that out, getting that very soon. Now, if you need additional assistance building your successful, sustainable e-commerce business, I've created a flagship course titled Educated E-Commerce. You can go to educatedecommerce.com and enroll in the course, and it takes you from step A to step Z in building a successful online e-commerce business on using all types of platforms, Amazon, eBay, your own sites, Be Smart, Buy Black, Hire Black freelancers, any site that you want to put your products on. Okay. Now, speaking of Be Smart, Buy Black and Hire Black freelancers, I've actually created these 2 platforms to help circulate dollars in the Black community. So if you're a Black product producer and you want to sell your product to Black consumers, I've created a platform titled BeSmartBuyBlack.com. BeSmartBuyBlack.com. It is free for you to put your products on there, and now you can connect with Black consumers worldwide. Now, I've also created the same type of platform for freelancers. So if you do anything on Fiverr.com or Freelancer.com, you can upload your information to HireBlackFreelancers.com, HIRE BlackFreelancers.com. It is once again free to upload your information. And now you can connect with Black consumers and Black businesses that are looking to hire Black freelancers. Okay. Also, if you need to request me to come out to speak at my book talk, if you want me to speak at a college, university, anything of that nature, to an organization or a church, just go to bookjjones.com and fill out the short form, and I'll get right back to you. I'm going to be in Charlotte on Saturday, March 14th at the State of Black Charlotte. And I'll tell you guys later on at the end of today's broadcast if you want to come out and hang out with your boy at one of his lectures. Also, now for social media, anything long, family, just email me because I get people DMing me like 18 paragraphs. So just email me at jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. That's JAYJONES at blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Facebook, just go to Facebook, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, connect with me there. Twitter, JJones001, JAYJONES001. Instagram, JJones for real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. YouTube, I say it every week, guys. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel because I have additional content that comes out on YouTube. So I'm starting this week I'm going to be doing some short videos, some actionable, taking you guys through some actionable steps to build your business. So go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and hit the subscribe button. Now, once again, the show does come out on YouTube, but I'm having additional content that also comes out on YouTube, and I'm about to go crazy in 2020 with content on YouTube. LinkedIn, you can go to LinkedIn and check out Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, Jay Jones, and connect with me there. Also, I know I just said a mouthful, right? So you can go to bebconnect.com, and all of this information will be there. There'll be links to my social media and also all the resource guides. Go to BEB, like Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, Connect. BEB Connect. It'll take you to a page on my website, and you'll have all of this resources and social media contacts right there. You can just click the links, go to my iTunes show, go to Stitcher. You can go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. And also, please connect with me via social media, and also use the resource links. So there are a lot of free links there. So just go to bebconnect.com, and all of that, what I just talked about, will be there. All right, that was a mouthful. Let's get ready to get back at it and close the show out. Okay, guys, I just want to do a quick recap. We're talking about pushing through the pain to get to prosperity, 3 keys to overcoming failure as an entrepreneur. So once again, the 3 keys, guys, are assess, believe, and commit. And under assess, you want to assess your personal talents and skills. Make sure they're lined up with what your business is. All right. So the more you're aligned with what you have innately, and you transform that into a business, the more chances for success that you have. Also, you want to assess your current situation. Where are you now? What resources do you have? And what are the critical tasks to move forward? Okay. You also want to assess your short-term and long-term goals. What are your short-term goals? Short-term goals, I usually break it down into several short-term goals. When I say short-term, I'm talking about 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and a year. To me, those are short-term goals. Anything after that, after a year as an entrepreneur, I consider that really a long-term goal, because you never know what's going to happen when you're an entrepreneur. Number 2 key is believe. So first thing, you want to believe in yourself. Nothing else matters, family, if you don't believe in yourself. So whatever you got in between those ears, right, you got to control that. And the way you control that is by putting the information that you need in between those ears and blocking out the stuff that you don't need. All right. So believe in yourself. You want to have self-belief. You can't be believing in yourself if you got people in your ear talking about, oh, you no good, you're not going to amount to nothing, you're going to fail. You got to block those people out or those things out. Put positive things in, positive things will come out. You also want to believe in your dreams. Don't let anybody steal your dreams. You cannot let anybody steal your dreams. I've had situations where, family members told me, man, why do you think you can do this? I'm like, hey, if somebody else can do it, I can do it too. Close family members. And once again, you have to remember where the source comes from. People that were telling me that were never entrepreneurs, never thought about being entrepreneurs, didn't have an inkling about how to be an entrepreneur. They didn't want that. So why am I going to listen to them? And what happened? I didn't. All right. So, and also under believe, you want to believe in your plan. First thing, you got to have a plan. All right. You just can't wake up, talk about, this is that, blah, blah, blah. Now you need a plan. Doesn't have to be a 200-page business plan, but you need some type of plan. And remember, any business plan is going to be fluid. There are things that are going to happen that are going to change that plan. So there's no plan that comes out of the box and, hey, this is it. We can't make any alterations or adjustments. If you can't make adjustments, then you're probably not going to be too successful as an entrepreneur. And key number 3 is commit. And under commit, you want to commit to a singular focus. Many times as entrepreneurs, we're trying to focus on the first thing that catches traction so we can make some money. And yeah, that can be, you may need to use that tactic in order to survive. But really, if you have a true belief in what you're trying to do, try to stay focused on that and have a singular focus. Once again, the acronym a lot of people use is follow one course until success. You also want to commit to elevating your entrepreneur IQ. What can you put in your brain, in that computer that's on your neck, that's going to help you elevate? Okay, what's going to help you continue to learn and hone your craft and skill. And also you want to commit to putting in the work. Once again, to be, do. You got to do something to be something. Oh man, I want to be rich, which really isn't a goal. That's just the state of being. You know, if you say, oh, I want to be one of the greatest entrepreneurs of all time, that's something else. All right. So in order to be that, you have to put in the work. What's necessary to become what you want to become? Commit to putting in the work. And what that means a lot of times, guys, is letting other things go. Not necessarily totally. Now, you don't want to let your family and kids go, but it's letting other things go in order to focus and commit on being successful. The more time you give something, the better you're going to be at it. You know, and I'll use Kobe Bryant. If you make 1,500 shots a day. His goal wasn't to shoot 1,500 shots a day. It was to make 1,500 shots a day. Then guess what? He's probably going to be a better shooter than somebody that doesn't do that. And that's just a function of the work and the commitment that he puts in, or that he put in. Okay? So you got to commit to it. It's no easy way to success, family. And I know as an entrepreneur, we go through so many different things, but in order to break out and push through the pain to get to the prosperity, we got to be committed. We have to assess, believe, and commit. And if you can't do that, then the chances of success diminish greatly. So you want to make sure, guys, that you in it to win it. Balls to the wall, excuse the French. We go ball or fall. And that's the type of mindset that you need to have. You know, I was listening to, who was? I can't remember. Oh, it was Martin Lawrence. Yeah. And, you know, they doing Bad Boys for Life, and, you know, they doing the press tour. And I saw him, I can't remember if it was on The Breakfast Club or somewhere. And his game plan was to become a comedian, because he felt that comedians could get into the movies eventually. So he used comedy to get in the movies. And they asked him what was his plan B. And he said he didn't have one. That's balls to the wall. That means either I'm going to ball or I'm going to fall. That's it. Either I'm going to make this happen or it's not going to happen. But when you burn the ships and you don't have a way to retreat, guess what? When you make that commitment, this is it. I'm putting all in, baby. I'm putting all the chips in the table, pushing it to the center. That's commitment. That's having belief in yourself. That's assessing your situation. So that's today's show, family. Pushing through the pain to get to the prosperity. 3 keys to overcome failure as an entrepreneur. Also, before I forget, if you are in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, I'm coming at you guys on Saturday, March 14th at the State of Black Charlotte event. If you want to buy tickets to the overall event, everything inside is free. I think you got to pay for the food once you come in. But it's a great cultural event. Saturday, March 14th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can go to stateofblackcharlotte2020.eventbrite.com. stateofblackcharlotte2020.eventbrite.com. And you can get tickets there. So it's going to be a fun atmosphere. We're going to be, it's family. It's us, the State of Black Charlotte. There's going to be a lot of different vendors and different things out there. A lot of educational components out there. So State of Black Charlotte 2020 at State of Black Charlotte 2020.eventbrite.com. That's how you can get your tickets. Once you buy your tickets, everything on the inside is free. So I'm looking forward to seeing the BEB family. I know it's getting filled up right now for my workshop, and I'm going to be talking about how to build a 6-figure business. And definitely would love to see the BEB family out there so I can meet you, shake your hand, give you a hug. And once again, I love being able to interact with the BEB family. So Saturday, March 14th, 11 to 5, State of Black Charlotte. Just go to stateofblackcharlotte2020.eventbrite.com. Also, before we close on out, family, I say it each and every weekend, and I mean it. Each show, guys, we get more and more downloads, and that's attributed to you, the BEB family. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast and the blog and all the resources. We're trying to get this good word out there, guys, because it's all about building an economic power base in the black community. There's no revolution without economics, family. None. I don't care. You can march. You can do anything you want. And that's part of it. But until we start taking an economic interest in our community and being able to use that economic interest the way that we can weaponize our dollars, we ain't going nowhere, family. And that's what entrepreneurship is about. You don't have to be beholden to anybody to get your money. So the reason that a lot of people can't do things and say things is because they're getting their money from somebody else. But if you're unencumbered and can create your own money, guess what? You can say what you want. You can do what you want. And you can use your money whatever way you want. Nobody can stop your paper. All right. So entrepreneurship is where it's at, family. And even if you're not there right now, continue to listen to the show. Maybe it's not your time yet, but keep listening. And I'm telling you, we're going to plant these seeds of economic empowerment in your head. If you're a current entrepreneur, hey, I know why you're here. Thank you so much for supporting Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the podcast and the blog, and your boy Jay Jones. Love you guys. I'll see you same time next week. Peace.